He missed a few foul shots. He had a career high. He said C+. Did you see the same thing at a film from that?
He did some really nice things. Again, offensively, I thought he really passed well against their zone, especially helped break the press. And then rebounded the ball, 9 rebounds. I think on the other end, he's probably grading a lot of his defense. A big adjustment from high school to college is on the defensive end. And, as we go back and watch film, it'll be a learning process. But he definitely will and can play much better on that end.
Is he defending the 4, the 5, or you want him to help more? Obviously, he's got a few block shots.
Majority of the game, he's defending the 4. And then late game, when we went small, then he went to the 5 the last couple minutes when we were in the zone. And so, majority of the time, he'll be at the 4 defending. But again, if we decide to play small, then he slides down to 5.
We're just kind of asking him about what he knew about SEC ball kind of before he came here or whatever. When you're evaluating him, clearly he's a big talent. But how does his skill set up to be successful in the SEC?
First he's a phenomenal athlete. So he's 6'10", 240 pounds, and he moves extremely well. And so I still think he's recovering a little bit from being off for so long with his knee injury. And so I think even from this first game to what he was 2 weeks ago, I think he has a little more explosiveness. I think he moves a little bit faster, and I think we'll keep seeing that improvement, as the year goes on. But his passing and skill set at his size is something that we need him to use to help our team, especially with the absence of Darius. He has to facilitate and create for others.
And he came here thinking it's going to be me and Darius at the same time. When that changed, do you pull back Simi a little bit and say you don't have to do everything? Have you had those conversations?
I know he wants to win really bad, and so he wants to go out and win the game. In high school, sometimes you can do that as much. In college, there's a lot of good players on the court, and I thought when Darius first got hurt, there were some games that he was trying to take a lot on his shoulders. I thought he was really good last game. He picked his opportunities well. He made much better decisions. And so was very pleased on that end of the floor what he did.
You said after the game that it might have been a little bit of nerves, a little bit of jitters.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of difference in their preparation this week? Do you see them maybe a little bit calmer?
Well, we were off yesterday, and so today will be our first practice back. And obviously we all wanted to win. We wanted to win, especially our home opener. As we go back and we look at some realistic numbers, we're the 305th, least experienced team in the country. And so we're very young, and a lot of guys, again, we missed a lot of shots long and just some plays that I thought guys were excited for. So as a coach, I'm excited that they were excited. Hopefully that's out of our system, and our next home games and our next games will settle in and we'll make our free throws. Thought that was the pretty much deciding factor in the game.
I was just wondering how you handle a situation where, as a coach, you're going to show film to a team where the next opponent lost by 46 here. I mean, it from the standpoint of you're not going to be able to find a lot of things they're doing well in that game, I guess.
A lot of these guys have been around AAU and sports, and some nights just don't go your way, and you get beat bad, and you turn around and you play really well the next day, and we 100% expect Georgia to play very well, against us, and we know that they'll come out. They have a lot of experience. Again, every name I'm looking at basically is the same scouting report I looked at last March when we played them. And so, they have a lot of experience on the team.
What can you talked about just kind of the lapse from the 8-minute to 4-minute mark in the second half? What can you do to maybe change that up preparation-wise?
Yeah, I went back and I watched it, and because I had the same thing on my mind, hey, let's dig in. How can we really get better at it? And, we're at the free throw line, and if we make our free throws, we're up 1, to start that segment. We go 1 for 4 from the free throw line. We have a missed easy assignment on the defensive end that we give them a 3 that gives them, their first lead in the wild 3-point lead. And then on the other end, we had 1 really bad turnover. And so, I'm looking at it, and it's like, missed free throws, 1 bad decision on a pass, and 1 missed assignment on defense. So, it doesn't sound like a lot, but that was the difference that they broke away from us. So those are the things that we have to, got to make our free throws. In the zone, we can't miss easy assignments. And again, we're young, and it was a freshman. We have to read and make that better. And then offensively, even at 10 turnovers, which is fantastic, the timing of that one was just really bad.
Yeah. Simi was talking about leadership and just, even though he's a young guy, kind of in this game now, like age really doesn't dictate his needs and stuff. Does he seem like the guy that kind of wants it on him?
He does. He's been built that way. And again, he came here, to win this year. With that said, you know, there's still a big learning process, and he's a young man who didn't have an off season with us. He was basically just thrown in right before the season started with a few weeks of practice. And so as the season progresses, again, I think we'll see, you know, even better things on the defensive end that he'll do, and better conditioning, just all of that stuff. We saw signs of it this game with his athleticism. It was at a different level, I thought, this game than it was earlier in the season, where he's trying to take off from and dunk. And that's what we hope to see the rest of the year.
I know you talked about the last 8 minutes, but did you get a sense maybe that there might have been some fatigue because the shots weren't going down in the final four?
You know, a very good sign is, you know, a lot of intensity early, a lot of energy. Guys are excited, and you know, we saw some guys get a little bit tired. The pace was tremendous, you know, up and down, and just the physicality on both ends. And again, we have young guys that are doing it for the very, very first time against a lot of guys that have done it 3, 4, 2 years. And so we're relying on young guys to win games for us, and hopefully we're going to close this gap off really quickly as they get more SEC games under their belt, and we'll be able to win games like that in a couple weeks.